You look so strong.
What's up?
What's up?
All right. We're going to try this new mic setup this week.
And new seating arrangements.
You think you got it on again there, Mr. Zach?
Twice in a row.
And welcome to the holiday Halloween edition of Push to Talk Radio.
Creepy.
Wow, Zach, you are looking mighty red.
I am red in the face.
Can you let everyone know what you are?
I'm a wrathful deity.
Ooh, wrathful.
Maybe we'll get into that a little bit more.
Oh, we will definitely
as the
get
night
into
goes
that.
on.
No, it's actually the peaceful deities you got to watch out for.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd like to know more about that.
Well, they
Yeah,
don't
I'd like
react
to
to
know
you
more
at
too.
all. And that's horrifying.
Oh.
We'll talk
guess
about that a
so.
little later.
Okay, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Alex, what do we
I
got here?
am a model who's very skinny and high on coke. And it's so funny because I put some of this, like, this is just salt, but I put some on my nose and, like, it feels like I'm actually getting high from it. Like, I'm inhaling it. It's, like, making my nose run. I'm just like, am I high right now?
It's
And,
all the effects of cocaine, but not the effects of cocaine.
Let's just go with it.
Yeah, and I am the lazy podcast host
The lazy podcast.
who
host.
just wanted to put a mask on, basically, so I can easily take it off.
So what is that mask though?
It is a half of a skull, so I
Ah.
figured we're talking about
So
fear and
that
fearlessness.
matches my dress.
Yeah.
You can wear my dress
Death.
later.
We're talking about death.
Oh, are we?
I think so.
Is fear and fearlessness about death?
What
be.
what are the things that we're afraid of?
Life.
Like when
Yeah.
you boil down to it, are we not just worried about like social deaths and being killed out of our little
It's so
social
hard to take you serious.
with this on? Being killed in our social
No,
situations
you
and
gotta leave it down.
yeah, I mean we talk about scapegoating in groups a lot where
Uh-huh.
when people act a certain way, the group wants to kick them out, and I think we've all heard group facilitators talking about it as killing them off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wonder if on some level we
Yeah.
just
I mean, our like whole
yeah.
human experience revolves around not dying.
right.
Like we evolved around the fear of death.
Mm.
You know, didn't we?
Yeah, pretty
Yeah, I
much.
mean, and then fear.
The avoidance of it.
Yeah.
Fear is just being avoidance in general. I mean, to me, that's fear. I mean, everything's based in fear in a certain way. I mean, if we're gonna get into like the whole Buddhist notion of how consciousness is formed, the first thing that happens is fear.
Yeah.
Fear of separateness.
Is it like the panic that forms the first skanda?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Fucking skandas, man.
Them
Yeah, I think-
skandals,
I
they
think-
get you every time.
I think you're right, though, Anthony, that it is just tuning into death in some way.
Mm.
A fear of death.
I read this week a blog post by a friend of mine who sort of referred to meditation as we're sort of preparing for the or getting familiar with these little deaths all the time, like that are happening, like when something comes up and then we realize that we were just being dicks or whatever, right? Like seeing through our stories is like witnessing the death of part of our ego structure or whatever. And in a way that's preparation for, she said, the big one.
And like also the whole discussion around not self.
Yeah.
I think really internalizing that idea is a type of death, isn't it? Like an ego death.
Yeah. Yeah,
Which is-
you have to be comfortable with some, like, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Like, letting go of the ego is letting the ego die.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that shit sucks.
Does it?
It's scary.
It's scary as fuck, but it's like literally the whole path is about that.
I know. Yeah. I don't know, have you experienced it? In, like, small ways? In some ways?
I think in glimpses. Like I was reading the Buddha's Brain book by Rick Hanson the other day, and he was talking about like, the ego kind of like goes away every time we like are really focused on a task or something, or like we're really just in tune with our environment or whatever. Like the ego kind of just relaxes, and there isn't like that constricted like all about me feeling. So in those, like I do resonate with that. Like I think the safer you feel, the less need there is for things to revolve around an I. So yeah, I don't know. Have you experienced it?
I think just the way you said it, yeah, just kind of like losing myself.
Yeah.
I think I've had, I mean, whether it's with like doing something physical, like riding a bike or dancing or something like that, and those moments are freaking awesome. And then I can just, especially like dancing, because I'm pretty self-conscious about dancing, so like when I really get into it, it feels so good. But then I have a moment of realizing that someone's watching me, and then I realize, and then it's like, and that's like the fear though, like, oh, I'm gonna look stupid or blah 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 blah. But I think I've had some other times too where like more prolonged experiences of feeling like egolessness for like a day or two or something like that.
Really?
Like coming out of retreat is how I feel when I get back, coming out of the Maitri retreats, and then getting back, and I'll have like a week or so of just feeling like I'm just untouchable, indestructible, like no one can fuck with me, and like but then that goes away. And then it's like feels scary to enter back into that space.
Well, I mean, it's like a habitual thing, right? We're going to have to keep working with it and repeating the whole practice.
Yeah.
It's not just going to go away like that, unfortunately.
Yeah. I think that's kind of been more my experience too, is oscillating between.
I'm going to
being
get the
more
pooch out of here and then
self-conscious
close the door.
Less self-conscious. But I remember coming back from one of our retreats, and then I think it was after Maitri 3, and then we had our internship interviews. Or a lot of us did. Was that Maitri 3?
Yeah. No, Maitri 4.
No, that was 3.
No, it was 4.
Was
in
it
the
4?
spring. Right?
Yeah, that was but we did. The interviews were in the fall though for intern. Were they? I don't remember.
No, they're in the spring.
Were they spring? Okay. So
Anyways, it was after Maitri.
And I know a lot of people had their things secured before Maitri.
A lot of people?
A handful did.
Handful.
Yeah.
A handful.
Yeah.
And some people were doing interviews on retreat. And I didn't have any in mind until afterwards. And I remember feeling really good coming out of retreat, going into an interview, and feeling so much anxiety. But being in that retreat, post-retreat space, I wasn't identifying with the anxiety. And I was just like, oh, this is just a sensation. This is just energy in me right now. And I fucking crushed the interview. Because I didn't let the anxiety overwhelm me and start being weird. It was that's what I want to experience again.
That's fearlessness.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But that's what I can't get back though.
Wow.
That was one of the biggest highs of my life, to just feel I'm anxious as shit right now, and that's cool. I could just hang out and say whatever, and I'm not freaking out.
Well, fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll probably have more and more of those experiences as you gain practice. But then on the other hand, I'm saying should you be grasping to those experiences?
I know, I shouldn't. That's
Fuck.
Shouldn't. Grasping onto it's probably not going to make it come any sooner.
That's true.
Longing for it isn't going to make it.
But it might serve as an impetus. Is that what it's called? Impetus to chase it and create the conditions for it to arise.
Yeah, and I think that's true. That having had this experience, it's I want to go on retreat again.
Right.
Which, I mean, it's still grasping though, because I'm I want to sit and do nothing for 2 weeks so that I could just experience this kind of indestructible feeling that I feel when I come out of retreat. Even though I know it's going to be horrible to be up there for 2 weeks. It kind of is in a lot of ways. It's horribly boring and.
Well, I mean, you're not trying to necessarily feel a certain way. You want a certain relationship to how you feel, which is different.
Say more about that.
Well, because you were ready to experience whatever was coming up, anxiety or whatever, which I think is the non-grasping. You're not so attached to feeling a certain way, but the practice is to be more and more comfortable with more and more states of being. So, I mean, it makes sense that you would want to achieve that, because we all want to achieve that.
That is probably a little more accurate. Because it's not one feeling.
Yeah.
It was the feeling of being I'm comfortable with however I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is the ground of groundlessness or whatever.
Groundlessness.
Bullshit.
So for those who are curious, when we say the word Maitri, basically we're referring to a 2-week retreat that we've gone to through our program that we're in right now for our master's program. And it's not a silent retreat. It's a meditation retreat. And
the backbone is this idea of Maitri, which is an unconditional friendliness or loving kindness is what it's actually called.
Yeah.
Acceptance is how I think about it too.
Yeah. And essentially we've gone 4 times now. So we've
spent 2 months up there.
2 months on retreat. And we've got 10 more days left in the spring.
No, not even 10.
Is it not 10? Is it just
is
a week?
I think it's a week.
Yeah. So our last one is during spring break this year. Yeah. Sweet. And I see Taijira is joining us yet again in the chat room.
Hey, Taijira.
What's up, Taijira?
What's going on, Tai?
She says we're creepy.
Good.
Mostly him.
Mostly this one.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that mask is creepiest.
Is it?
I think that mask is creepier than my face paint. No.
Yeah, your paint is like off-putting. When you first, and I mean
that's
that
what
like
I want to hear.
when you first walked in, I was like, "Holy shit!" Like you, I think I said, "Man, you just went for it."
I did go for it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Felt
it's
really
just
good.
not. You just don't see that. You usually don't see people who are red.
Yeah.
And like biologically and evolutionarily, we're like programmed to be like, "Whoa, that's not normal."
Yeah.
You got
I
the
thought-
beard in there and
I
everything.
thought like red was like a sexy color, but I guess that's not what's happening. That's not the vibe I'm putting out.
No.
So,
But your confidence is sexy.
Okay. High five.
Tidera hopes it washes off.
Maybe.
All right, are we playing some
Yeah.
Diablo?
In the
Reaper of
spirit
Souls.
in the spirit of Halloween, we are going to watch Alex. When was the last time you played Diablo?
When I was like 10 to 12 or something.
Oh, so
2 years
she
straight.
played Diablo 2,
I played it for a while back
Yeah, I
then.
played
A
it.
lot. Oh my god. Yeah, me and my
Lord of
sister.
Destruction.
Yeah, just play the shit out of this game.
Well, we tried to get Diablo 2 to work, and we couldn't for whatever reason.
Huh.
Wouldn't capture the screen or anything, so we're going to try our hand at Diablo 3 today.
Okay.
And I've already created a character for you, but you're welcome to
Yeah,
start
I
something
think you should
else.
start your own.
All right.
You want a
fuck
sorcerer.
this. Switch hero.
So before we do that,
Yeah.
let me
Let's
switch
the screens. here.
switch the screen over here. So, all right, now you're good to go.
So select hero.
If you want to create your own, you go over to the left.
Create. Ha ha ha. Oh. Ooh. Ooh. Okay.
So wizard would be closest to sorcerer.
Mhm.
Wizard. Oh, what about witch doctor? Oh my god, no. That's very scary. Yeah, wizard. Monk. Oh, that's badass.
Yeah, yeah.
I like this one too.
So
Demon
that's the newest
Hunter.
one.
Pew, pew.
The necromancer is the newest class.
I love this girl. Oh my god. Nope. Let's go with this bitch. Enter
Alright.
hero name.
I think I just.
What?
It might be the same amount of S's, but try it.
He just created a character for you with the same name. Oh, we got
Oh, it worked. Okay. Maybe I had 4 S's in there
Can I choose her
Damn.
outfit?
later.
later.
Okay.
And not really. 'Cause
Okay.
You're gonna put on what is best for the game, probably.
Well, we'll see.
All right. Should we do story mode?
Yeah, I think you should do so.
All right. So go into game settings. I think maybe it's already on it. Yeah, it's on campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good. Just start game. Do you want to get closer to the keyboard there, or are you good?
Yeah, wait, so what are like the controls?
They light up for you. isn't
Oh
it?
my god.
On the keyboard.
Yeah.
isn't it?
No, wait, so is this place reeks of the dead? You're already
Oh,
full
wait, no.
life. How do I like shoot?
That's
Oh yeah,
easy.
you don't want to hit Q yet.
If you when
Shoot.
you click on a guy, you,
Ha ha
shoot.
ha.
You can do left click and right.
Yeah.
Or right click.
What's left click?
It's also shoot.
Oh,
Well, not
So
yet.
your
right?
skill, you've got skills. You've
Oh, it's a
got
wand.
magic missile. Is your left click. And
Oh.
Your right clicked is you shoot your wand.
And,
And
then
that's
as
my
you
mana?
go,
That's your health potion, yeah. So left click is actually the stronger attack. So this one's different because you get way more attacks than you did in the other one.
yeah, those little bars are gonna fill up at the bottom there.
wait. Are these people good?
Anything with a red,
Captain
like health
Benefit.
bar over its head. Yeah, you can click that X. It'll move it along faster.
Okay. So while I do this, I have a question for you guys.
Name it.
What is your biggest fear? How do I get...
My biggest fear.
Oopsies. Uh-oh. What's happening? Oh, it's a dead end. But the map says I could go.
You're trying to kill these guys.
Oh, what?
Yep.
Oh.
I think this is like the game's attempt to give you a little tutorial.
Oh, okay.
Boom, you just leveled up.
Okay. All right, so what are your biggest fears?
That's a tough one.
You know, I'm distracted by the chat because we've got someone
On
here
YouTube?
named- on Zake. Zake is saying that the guy on the right is super fucking hot. And he's upset that he can't get that guy to fuck him. And I'm trying to... I think that's you, Anthony. I think you're the guy on the right.
Oh, God. Who is this?
I don't know.
Is this on YouTube?
This is on YouTube.
What's your biggest fear, Zach?
My biggest fear?
Yeah. For me, that's a tough question to answer. So
is a tough question.
I'm going to put that off for a while.
What? Come on. Okay, you want me to say mine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You seem prepped.
You know
and
what
ready.
you're doing.
Well,
Leah's got a quest for you.
Leah. My biggest fear is essentially not making the most out of this life, not enjoying it as much as I can. Which is fucking hard because I don't enjoy it a lot of the time. That pisses me off.
Not getting the guy on the right to fuck me. That's funny.
What is your biggest fear?
Not enjoying life as much as I can. And that essentially boils down to not finding a man to love. Shocker!
Shocker.
Shocker.
Is that FOMO? Is that what you're talking about?
You can't use my gems, I'm sorry.
What do you mean?
Those are account-wide things, and you don't really need them.
Okay.
You're gonna blast your way through this, I think. But you see on the map here where this is blinking?
Yeah.
You want to go there.
Oh.
You want to talk to people that have exclamation points above their head.
Oh.
So, for Tajira, who might not be able to see this, we've got a guy on YouTube that seems to be...
Look at all these guys. What's wrong
Infatuated
with
with one of us. I'm not
Yeah,
sure who.
are you on the right or am I? I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Is this how it actually shows up?
That's how it looks.
Oh,
I
okay.
think it's you.
Well.
You are on the right.
them? How does it make you feel, Anthony?
Oh. Actually, a little creeped out. I don't know who this person
Yeah,
is.
it's
And how could I fuck them through YouTube, I guess is
Right.
like the question that comes
Oh,
up.
so you are down. Oh, no.
I don't know that I'm down as much as I'm just curious how they think that would even happen.
mm-hmm.
11 gold.
Like, this isn't a cam show. I mean, we might be able to arrange something like that for the appropriate
appropriate venue.
appropriate donation to the show, if you know what I mean.
Whoa, now. Hey, now, boys.
Alex, you're
What?
you're not good at this.
Shut up. I'm so good at this.
So go back into the inn. You need to talk to Leah.
I did talk to her.
She's anytime you see the exclamation point, you need to.
We just talked.
See, this is why the adventure mode is better, I think, because you don't have to do all this crap. You can just go for it.
Has she said all she needs to fucking say?
I think so.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah,
you're
Bye.
going outside now.
Bye,
See,
bitch.
I feel like you're starting to understand why.
What? How do I run? Can I run?
No, that's your movement.
I mean, I'm just saying. There's been times in my life where I'm like, really, is this bitch still talking? And here you are right now. Like, has she said everything? What's she still talking for?
Tajira has confirmed that I am on the right. So,
Wow.
but
That-
Zake is. I don't think Zake is even in this chat anymore. So
Yeah, I feel like I'm thinking of the Office episode when Andy's going crazy and the internet's freaking out on him. Remember that one?
No. I have a really bad memory. He might know.
They do the Office preview, and someone on YouTube was like, "Oh, dude playing the banjo is like super cool,"
yeah.
and he's like, he says something like, I don't know, the guy
Thank you,
who
Jake 223.
Yeah, no, but the other guy's name is like Chobble Gobbler. And he's like, that's a girl's name, right? Chobble Gobbler.
Are you guys afraid of dying?
Yeah, I would say so for sure.
Totally afraid of dying.
What happens when you die, do you think?
Oh, I don't even know.
I mean,
I guess
my
nobody
just
really
like
knows.
pure speculation. What I think happens is fucking nothing.
I think so much happens.
I mean, if you buy into the whole Bardo thing, you just get reborn.
Yeah.
Oh, what's that sludge?
Yep.
Away
You don't
from
want to
us.
stand
What's in
there.
there?
That's good.
Oh.
You want to kill these guys.
Oh. Get your ass out of here.
Try right clicking.
Pew, pew, pew.
There you go.
Look at that force field.
I'd say, I don't know, one of my biggest fears is probably just being alone.
Mm.
Yeah, I feel ya.
Yeah.
Dead villager, give me your things. No thing.
Hit.
Are you enjoying this, Alex?
Yes.
Awesome.
Hit I.
Yep.
Oh,
And
you've got stuff you can
right
wear.
click that stuff. Yeah.
Ooh,
put it,
that's
you know how to do
sexy.
this.
This is how you can change your outfit. How do you zoom in? Is it Z? Is that it? There you go.
Oh, I didn't know you
Here,
could
here.
do that even.
Walk up so you can yeah, there you go.
Pose.
Yeah,
Pose
you
for
can strike
daddy.
a Pose.
I've never heard that before.
Yeah, sure. I haven't. Hit Z again.
Z?
Yeah.
Z, yeah.
Oh.
You need to kill 2 more wretched mothers.
Wretched mothers.
What's my biggest fear?
If you can, that frosty thingy,
I think-
frost ray, you can click and hold it.
Yeah, I know.
So
yeah,
we
yeah.
were doing. Actually, can I do something really quick? This is bugging the hell out of me.
Are you gonna assign a bunch of points?
I don't know how to make it go away.
You
Okay.
got it.
I think you do have new abilities, but you can just keep
Yeah,
going.
you can just keep going. We can figure that out.
Well, when Karen was doing the the Gestalt stuff that day,
Mm-hmm.
or no, it was when we're going over dreams. At one point,
Mhm.
Karen said, I've got anxiety because on some level I don't know what I'm going to reveal."
Wait, she said that
Right.
about you specifically?
No, she said that about when she was
Oh.
going over her dream.
Oh,
And
yeah.
she said part of the reason that she was sort of, I don't know, afraid or nervous or
Hey, is
anxious
that a
about it
pumpkin patch?
is because she didn't know what she was going to reveal.
Yeah,
And I think on some level that notion just scares the shit out of me.
I am on board with that.
Yeah,
Yeah, that comes up on this show, to be honest.
really.
When we're unprepared and I'm just talking and I'm like, I don't know what I'm about to say.
Right. And is there a way? So I started thinking about this, right? Like, I can be afraid of that. And there are all kinds of ways that I know I probably organize around avoiding doing that.
Mm-hmm.
On some level, I think that's what like an avoidance of vulnerability is about.
You know, I don't feel that way at all.
You're not scared of what you might reveal?
No, I want to reveal fucking everything.
Good for you.
Is it good for me?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I mean, that's yeah.
I
the only
just
way
want
to
to
work
feel
with it.
joined, you know?
It's the only way to work with
Well,
it.
that's cool. I mean, right, like, and I have a big value in honesty, but a lot of times I'm kind of just scared to
Yeah.
fully show up and be seen.
Why do I want to just kill all those
And I guess the
guys?
question after that is, if I'm afraid of what I will reveal,
Uh-huh.
does that mean that I'm afraid that something I reveal will mean something about me that I don't know, or
Probably.
like?
What would you not want to be? What would like the worst thing to be perceived as? Like, what is that?
Oh, I don't know. I was looking for a Trump costume today.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think on a lot of levels I'm afraid of being that guy who
You are that guy.
seems to be in control of everything, or to him, he thinks he's in control, and maybe surrounds himself with people that allow him to sort of live out that fantasy.
Hmm.
And any feedback he's given is met with defense. And I mean,
God, that's horrifying.
do you think so?
I mean, just this scenario you're describing scares me. I know someone in my life who I would describe that way,
Uh-huh.
and I just encounter a lot of pain and distress when trying to relate to this person.
It's like, fuck.
But you know, you're actively looking at yourself. Is Trump actively looking at himself?
Right, and so this is where we come upon like what our fears, like how they're founded. How do I organize myself around this fear? Like,
Mhm.
Okay,
what am
Bruce.
I avoiding? I don't think this is a Bruce thing.
It's totally a Bruce thing.
How I organize around it?
Yeah.
That's more of an addictions sort of.
No, he
Yeah.
literally has that quote in his book.
Yeah, but that's not from him, though. That's used
Yeah.
in lots of other ways. I mean, that's a Gestalt thing.
Okay.
Yeah. He
Organizing
is a
around
differentiator though.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
he has
okay,
a lot
I
of
see what you're
like.
saying.
But anyway, I mean, sure. Yeah, like maybe that's a fair. You're gonna play on your lap.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Whoa, I've got the 360 controller. She can play with the controller.
Oh, wow.
Would that be easier? Would you want to play it with a joystick?
Yeah. I mean, whatever, if it's, like, easy. But if it's not, then fuck
I don't
it.
know if it will be.
All right, fuck it. Fuck it all. Wait,
Fuck that
another
bitch.
thing I wanted to say about the vulnerability thing is that I feel like I can control exactly how I say things. So, like, even if it's super vulnerable, it's, like, on my terms, you know?
Yeah.
Which I really like.
That's
Yeah.
really like inspiring. I don't feel like I have that ability at all. I get caught off guard and I'm like, why the hell did I just say that?
Well, you know, but people really like when you're super vulnerable with them. They like it a lot.
Some people do. Other people don't like it at all.
Yeah, I
Really?
grew up. I would say most of the. I mean, my upbringing and stuff, like, I had a really great group of friends, and I still do.
Nice work.
Thanks.
One of them is probably going to be listening to this on his phone next week because he's told me he watches or he listens to all the shows. We're like podcast freaks together.
Mm-hmm.
But we had, like, I would say there's a lot of vulnerability, like, that maybe a lot of, like, teenage boys don't get a lot of that these days with other teenage boys. Because it just, we were like, I remember having, like, cuddle puddles on the bed together with a bunch of dudes after, like, football practice, literally. And we're all just, like, hanging out. And I get the sense from, a lot of people that I work with, first of all, and the existence of these documentaries, like The Mask You Live In and everything, that talk about sort of how we raise little boys to think that their feelings are a burden or it means that they're weak or anything like that. And I know that I still got those messages in a lot of ways, even though I had like
For sure.
an upbringing that was sort of positive around that.
I had no
Leah.
experiences
Leah.
of cuddle puddles like you described in the least bit.
Yeah.
My childhood was like, no, you didn't touch other dudes,
Mm.
or else you were gay,
Wow.
pretty much. But one of my best friend's dads was super homophobic.
I can't
and
wear this the whole time.
He like really instilled that.
Where do I go?
One of your friend's dads was homophobic, you said?
Super homophobic, and he really instilled these notions.
How did he instill it?
Well, he just talked. He just talked. He was a bigot, and he said things that a bigot would say about gay people all the time.
Yeah.
So it was. The message was, don't be anything close to gay, or else this guy's dad's not going to acknowledge you as a human being.
Or he's going to, like, shame you.
Or shame you, right? Yeah.
So basically, don't, and in this case, it was
Don't
physical.
show affection.
Don't show physical affection to other men.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That blows because
Does
physical
blow.
affection is so important, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you all know I fucking love physical affection.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely.
Yeah, I think everyone that knows you knows that about you. I'd say
It's the damn truth.
you're a cuddle bug.
I am. I just can't get enough.
Yeah, I mean, I love physical affection.
That's part of
when it's consensual.
So I'm curious now. We talked about the question was what's our biggest fear, and now we're talking about intimacy,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just wondering where everyone stands on that.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely have some fear of intimacy. I think I just have a fear of being seen in a lot of ways, because I think I grew up. I don't think I'm alone in this, but just relegating a lot of myself to the shadows because it wasn't totally accepted by my family and my friends and whatnot. So then there's this fear of bringing it out. And will it be accepted now?
And also, you know what? I was actually just thinking about that earlier today. I have a lot of memories of when I was younger. When I would get vulnerable with people, they would, like, use it against me later.
Yeah, that's a big
And I remember explicitly telling myself, don't ever tell people that stuff because they'll just use it against you.
Oof.
Yeah, so...
Can you give us an example of that?
Yeah, with my sister, pretty much. I mean, I don't even remember, like, the details, but I just remember thinking that. Just don't fucking tell her anything.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I've had that happen to me before too, when I share some things and then it just comes back as gets weaponized. That's how I phrase it in my mind.
Yeah. So it's just safer not to. I mean, unless you're like, there are people now. I would share anything I know. Like, I feel very safe like that. They will not hit below the belt.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the thing. It's like, are people going to hit below the belt?
Mm-hmm.
And if you're like secure that, or you feel like you're safe and they won't do that, then
Mm-hmm.
there's nothing wrong with being vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm looking on Reddit right now,
Uh-huh.
Yes.
and one of the questions asked this week was, introverts, what's the furthest you've gone to avoid people?
Huh. Interesting.
Did you hear that?
So, before we answer that, I just want to name too that in this conversation around vulnerability and intimacy
Yeah.
and afraid of being seen, I'm like actively right now feeling hesitant about how vulnerable do I want to be in this venue because there's some fear.
Yeah.
There's some fear
I mean, we're putting this on the
present
internet.
right now of will I be accepted if I decide to be vulnerable?
What would accepted look like? And if you weren't, what would that mean?
Right. I mean, those are big questions.
Ooh, another
I think
thing.
it-
Okay, keep going. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough.
Can
It's
you
tough.
continue down there? It's driving me nuts.
It's kind of tough to talk about, to be honest, because I mean, so we're talking about. I mean, around the idea of homophobia in particular. Like, I grew up.
Were they feasting on him?
I think they were.
It's like half his dead body comes back to try and kill you.
So I grew up in a family and close friends where like you couldn't show affection to men.
Uh-huh.
And I still have some fear around, even though I'm an adult and like I don't care nearly as much what people think of me, there's some fear that, people are going to think I'm gay if I'm showing affection to men.
Mm.
But then it's like, so what is that fear about? Like, why do I even care if people think that way about me?
And what I'm wanting to ask around that is, like, how much of that is conscious for you when it's happening, Like, is this something
Right.
that you're in the situation and you're actively thinking, oh, I don't want to touch this guy because he might think I'm gay? Or is it just like you just start to feel uncomfortable, so you just get away from that discomfort?
Yeah.
And then, like, later on, you sort of realize what that was about or something. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So how much of it is conscious in the moment?
A lot of it, like right now, it's super conscious. Like this, I'm very conscious of it right now.
He just said, "Please kill me." Fuck, man.
He's not afraid of death.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, a lot of it's, a good amount of it's conscious. Yeah, I mean, it's happened between you and me actually.
Yeah.
Because you're way more comfortable with touch than I am.
Yeah.
And I just remember there was a time where I think I was driving, or I don't know, somehow you like put your hand on my leg,
Uh-huh.
and it was a totally normal thing for you to do.
Wait,
And it,
wait, I need to hear more about what the situation was.
We were talking, and you were like, you made a point, and as like a way to emphasize your point, you like put your hand out like that,
Uh-huh.
and it like, I had like a fight or flight response to it.
Oh, shit. Okay.
That I'm aware that like, I'm at a point where I can have that response and be like, he's not trying to grab my dick or anything like that.
Right.
But
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
I would have made that pretty obvious. I'd have just gone for it.
But I
Click that
have to tell myself like, this isn't
Blessing.
this isn't a life or death situation. But it's come up in therapy too, where my therapist actually reached out and touched me on the leg at one point. And I had to like stop. And
Male therapist?
Yeah. And I had to be like, we need to talk about this. I didn't like that. And we talked about it for like 3 or 4 sessions.
Wow.
It was like just a thing for me. And there was a thing for me in high school too, of like people touching me, like sitting on a couch and having like legs touch.
Uh-huh.
Would like freak me out. So.
Do you attribute a lot of this to like this like father of your friend that sort of made it very explicit, or was just this one thing in a list of things that made touch with dudes uncomfortable for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, did this guy have a huge impact on you in that way, or
not him directly, but the way that I think he had a really direct impact on my friend, and then my friend had a really strong impact on me.
yeah,
Because he was slightly older too, so, when you're 7 and 8 years old, an 8-year-old is a fucking genius compared to the 7-year-old. At least that's how they'll act, So he kind of like told me how things were, and that's not really how they were. So.
Let me do something really quick.
But anyway, I want to shift away from this. This is getting a little too.
It's a little
personal.
much.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
This game is very easy.
We can make
you're
it
very
harder.
Good at it too.
Am I?
Yeah, you're excellent.
No, you're not.
Shut up.
You're just getting started.
150 plus damage. Okay.
I'm just seeing like the pointlessness of it.
It is
It
It
pointless.
feels incredibly pointless.
Yeah. Yep. Well, there's no difficulty too, and you're not
Plus
even playing on
30%, we'll
hardcore
do that.
mode.
Do you want to step it up?
Yeah.
All right. Well, can we do that mid? I forget how this works, Zach.
Yeah, you can do it. Just options.
Raise difficulty.
There you go.
All right.
You just
Now
kicked
it's
it up
going to be a
notch.
little harder. Luckily, you're not on a hardcore character, so.
What do you mean?
Don't you remember when D2 you could create a character and once they died, that was it? You couldn't play them again?
No. I don't
Yeah,
remember
that was a mode. So if you die, it won't be that big of a deal.
Tajira wants you to go straight to Torment 10.
Torment 10.
What's that?
It's like one of the higher difficulty
Yeah.
levels
Oh,
of the
Bring
If
game.
we were
it
doing
on.
adventure mode,
Bring it on, baby.
maybe once you kill Leoric,
Leoric.
get some-
Who's that?
get some legendaries, we can move it up again. But you're about to do way more damage than you were. 180% more.
What do you mean?
See how fast they're dying now?
Oh, ha ha ha.
And don't forget, you still have your left click, which increases your mana as well. Or what is that, arcane power?
Mhm.
Whoa,
So when
whoa,
you
whoa,
run
what
out,
is this
so when you
guy?
run out of arcane power,
Then the number one key is your oh shit button too.
it'll
Oh.
freeze things around you.
Okay. Oh shit button. Wait, how do I... Oh, this just increases over time.
Well, well, it'll go down, right, from you using your right click, and then once it's expelled or expended, you can use your left
Remember
click.
that guy?
No.
The old guy? He was the guy who would identify your items.
Oh.
You know,
Back
remember
in the old D2.
Ooh.
He'd always be like, "Greetings, friend."
Ty, we haven't heard what Tajira's biggest fear is yet, and I'm really curious about
It's
that.
a vulnerable conversation.
Yeah, it is.
Asking people what their fears are. Talk about it on the internet.
And I think so. I think I wanted to add to what mine was though,
Yeah.
because do y'all remember at retreat that time I had the microphone in my hand and I just like looked at one of our professors and I was like, I fucking hate this microphone. You remember that? I remember your response to that. Remember it started a big thing with
It
us for
started
like a
a
week.
thing. What was
What
my
was his
what was my
response?
exact response?
On some level it triggered you at, being in restaurants with your father where like the
Oh.
waitresses would always like look like it was a big deal for them to accommodate your dad because he's in a wheelchair.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because in that moment, I was totally unaware that we were using the microphone for someone who's hearing impaired in the room. I just thought we had to do it so they could like record it or something.
Mm-hmm.
And
I knew that too, though.
Yeah. Okay. And I don't know. So this goes to what I was saying about when I'm talking and when I'm talking about things that are difficult, like this conversation you said was for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's when this fear comes up of what am I about to reveal?
Mm-hmm.
And on maybe the more masculine form. What's
Sorry,
this?
I'm just so confused. Where am I supposed to be going?
Go to the circle.
Go to this.
See the
Always go to
little-
this.
I
blinking
just
thing.
went to the circle.
Click it.
and then go to that one.
But it says the arrow.
I think that's where you are.
Okay, and then there's a fucking... Oh,
Leah.
Leah's got something else to say.
Yeah.
Shocker.
Don't worry, she doesn't say much later on.
Okay.
So Taijira says she has no idea.
Oh, come on, Taijira.
Hold on,
You know.
wait. There's general things I'm afraid of, but a true fear I'm not sure. To me, I feel like a true fear has a sense of control over the way you do things, or in a way prevents you from doing stuff. I guess I could say that maybe failure. There's been things I haven't done because I'm afraid to fail before I even start.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. It's a pretty common one, I'd say.
Totally.
Yeah. Do either of you have a fear of failure?
Of course.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, I think
What is this?
that's been something I've been.
Oh, you put on...
I don't want this.
Wait, what
anymore.
wings are those
I
from?
don't want it. Unequip.
Oh, those must be from getting the... Yeah, anyway.
Sorry, what were you saying?
I think that's something that they help us with at our school, at Naropa.
How so?
Personally, I mean,
Fear of failure?
yeah, they tell us to go for it all the fucking time. They're so supportive and encouraging there that I think a lot of my fears of failure have been helped to overcome through the Naropa professors. Really, there's been lots of times. I mean, particularly with women,
You don't want that.
is where I'm afraid of failure.
So you want to look at these stats? So hover over this. See, that'll give you 30% more damage.
Then
But
this.
it looks stupid.
Yeah, it looks fucking
Oh, if you're going for
horrible.
looks, please, by all means, do what you want to do. So that's a two-hander.
Yeah, let's do that. Pew, pew. Okay.
Yeah, fear of failure. I said that I think that most often comes up to me in relation to women, where I'm afraid to even. I've been afraid to even approach women to start a conversation.
Mm.
Yeah, for sure. Fear of rejection.
Fear of rejection, right?
Fear
And
of
that's
rejection.
fear of failure in a big way too.
Yeah, I think
Totally.
I want to ask Taijira if she's willing to maybe be a little more specific, because like fear of rejection, like Zach just said, especially like if we're just talking about dating and guys asking girls out and shit. What's often talked about, I think, is the fear of the failure. But you're failing in what you're trying to do, but really it's not about the fact that she said no, it's that she rejected you, right?
Right. It's not that she said no. It's that you actually just on some level told me I'm not valuable as a human being.
Wow.
Happening.
I mean, that is what it triggers for me too. I'm just gonna do that for you.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go. I like this two-player.
You're
Oh
my
look,
sidekick.
you got a big javelin that does more damage.
Where?
Go into your inventory.
Where is it? Here?
Yep. That's that blue one right there.
This one?
Up. Nope.
This one?
To the left.
To the
That
left.
one?
To the
Left.
left. Other left.
Right.
This
Up. Jesus.
That one.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, man. Vulnerability.
Isn't that what rejection is, though? Right? It
What?
That's what it does to me. It tells me I'm not valuable as a person.
Or it's like
Even
you're.
yeah.
This is one more reason why it's likely you won't be loved. You know,
Yeah.
one more. Reason to think that.
I guess it depends on how you're relating to it, right? Because that sounds like one flavor.
That's the way.
In a way,
That's my
right?
flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
totally.
another common one I would imagine is,
He just vomits.
oh, that's the
that.
mother. She like
Oh.
spawns these things.
Ugh.
So you have to kill her
Wait,
first.
where's the mother?
She's up in the top there.
Oh, get out of here, girl.
Yeah, she's kind
Wait,
of just
this
like
one? Oh, the
up
vomiter.
there to the left.
Oh, she's still alive?
Yeah,
There was
there
two.
you go.
Of all the fuckers.
I forget what I was gonna say now,
Sorry.
but like if someone has a lot of like social anxiety, for instance, this kind of goes back to that question we were answering last week from the Reddit post of the sort of self-proclaimed nerdy guy who was going to the dance meetings at his university or whatever,
Uh-huh.
and basically he thought people were boring.
Right. You thought everyone. Yeah.
And one
Look
of the
at this
interesting
guy. Look at this guy.
so he's gonna like
He's gonna explode.
explode. Want to get out of that
That's
circle.
fucked up. Oh, shit.
But one of the things that he said that I thought was sort of remarkable about his post was when he's talking to people, he gets evidence in real time that people don't find him, what was it, interesting or... but basically, if you're looking for the evidence that
confirmation bias.
Something is wrong with you, or I'm not good at conversation, so whenever I notice in conversation that someone looks like they're feeling awkward, I'm going to attribute that to me.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
So,
but it's like less blatant than if you like go up to someone and like, "Hey, want to fuck?" and she's like, "No, get away from me."
Ew, freak.
Oh, you're red. Why would I date you?
You're red.
Oh no, I'm out of. Is that mana?
Yeah.
Mana.
Well,
what?
No, but yeah.
It was mana in Diablo 2, and like
it's arcane power now.
Okay.
If you use the other click, then
or arcane energy.
When you shoot that little ball, you get mana.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So the right.
But this one's like so much less powerful.
Right.
Yeah,
but if you run out, it'll give it back faster.
Right.
Okay.
And you get different abilities that actually become more powerful for your left click.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
You're still fairly weak.
Wait, another thing that someone mentioned to me last night was that if you're changing yourself for other people's approval, you're already not getting the love you want.
Oh, definitely.
Right? So it's like,
yeah.
that kind of changed a little perspective for me.
Say it again.
If you're changing yourself for other people to accept you, you're already not getting the love that you want or the acceptance that you want.
Well, how do you know what I want?
But I'm saying you really want people to accept you for who you are.
Yeah,
like,
if you're
that's
changing
real.
yourself for other people, you're inherently
that's bad.
Not getting what
and
you
want. And you should feel bad.
Is that the message we want to be sending?
Yeah. Unequivocally bad. Oh, this fucking bitch, man.
Yeah, she's just vomiting.
Close your legs.
There's the line from the Tao Te Ching.
Click continue for the love of God.
Okay.
Thank you.
That says, care about other people's approval and you will forever be their prisoner.
Yes.
Wow.
But on the other hand, it's like you need other people to survive. Like you need relationship.
Yeah, there's a tension there of acknowledging impact.
Yeah.
And
totally.
But I think as long as you're kind,
right? That's
all you really need to be.
Well, what does kind look like?
Not mean. I think it's like obvious. It's just fucking obvious.
I don't know that it is sometimes.
Not always obvious, but I mean, in a lot of ways it's obvious.
Thinking about the person's feelings one way or another, even if you're like blatantly honest.
If you have in like positive intentions, you're saying?
Yeah, like remembering that they're a human.
Mm-hmm. And
not
so
what
happens when I have positive intentions and I still hurt someone?
You say I'm sorry.
Oh, take refuge in your intentions.
What if I'm not sorry?
Why aren't you sorry?
I don't know.
Maybe that person's not right for you in your life.
I mean, you're right. I mean, you're allowed to have conflict.
Yeah, what if I want to be physical with my friends? And that triggers someone that I'm around to have negative feelings.
Yeah.
And I just don't give a shit about that.
Yeah. It's not that I don't give a shit. It's that are they thinking about me? No, they're only thinking about themselves.
I wish you would have said that when this came up.
Yeah, I do too.
I did say that.
Did you?
Yeah.
Not like that.
No, I don't think you did.
Not like, that concise.
Whatever, but it's like that's the ultimate thing. It's like
go up there. Up.
But I want to explore here.
Okay. You're exploring.
It's like, okay, fine, but also I need to take care of myself, and I'm gonna do that before I'm gonna take care of you. I don't even really know you, you know?
Yeah.
That's where I think it gets
So
tricky.
I didn't mean to put you on the spot with this. I just
Should I go here?
Mm-hmm.
No.
No.
You were where you needed to be.
Here?
Yeah.
Does anyone else feel like playing?
Are you already getting bored?
Are you bored?
I mean, I'm pretty indifferent to playing.
Just keep playing.
Yeah, keep going. This is good. So I brought that up just to say that, like, what we're saying sounds all fine and dandy until someone gets hurt, and then what?
But the thing is,
well, I mean, there's. No, go ahead.
like, I would have handled that situation a lot differently now
Oh,
than how I handled it then.
and what insight did you have about the situation?
I would have related to that person more, like, with their humanity in mind, you know? I wouldn't have probably changed what I did. I would have probably totally still kept doing what I wanted to do, but the way I would communicate that would be pretty different.
Okay.
Yeah.
So so now we're talking about when we're trying to get our needs met, or just sort of being us, and then something that we do hurts someone, and we didn't have that intention. How is it that we go about acknowledging the pain that was caused, or that I don't want to say that was caused by our actions, but the pain that someone
Triggered
experienced based on our actions, while still knowing that we're okay and we can keep doing whatever we're doing, in a way.
Well, maybe.
And are there times where we do have to sort of modify that in that moment? Like
yeah, I think there are. I mean, okay, extreme.
Alex would say no.
I think it depends on your relationship with that person if you want it
Totally.
to continue.
Depends on the
Totally.
scenario we're talking about. We're
Yeah.
using such vague terms that, like,
Such big terms.
if like, you know, you're going around and you're stabbing people with a knife,
Yeah.
and it feels great, and
Uh-huh.
someone's like, hey, maybe don't do that, and then you realize, like, oh, stabbing people isn't good. Like, I'm causing harm.
Uh-huh.
You know, then you might be like, maybe I'll stop stabbing people.
So what need... I can't even go there.
is for you to
Right, I
stop
mean, I'm just
My
killing
need is
everyone.
to kill.
Yeah,
In that
but it could
situation.
be. Here, let me just.
Maybe to release your pain by inflicting pain on others.
Maybe you grew up in a society where that was normal for whatever fucking reason. I'm just imagining let me. That was a horrible metaphor.
Yeah, wasn't
pretty
it?
bad.
It didn't really help anything. I'm thinking of people that are highly religious in this country
Yeah.
that have views
Okay.
that, like, gay people shouldn't allowed to be gay.
Okay.
Shouldn't allowed to
And
be gay.
Shouldn't-
Allowed. This is why I don't like being on here all the time.
Oh, come on. It's okay. You're okay.
Right, so people have very strong views that you shouldn't be gay and that being gay is wrong. And where they're coming from, there's nothing wrong with that. It's actually they're doing
that person good.
Right.
They think they're saving them from
Just like
an
Hitler.
eternity of suffering.
exactly.
Do they really think that, though? Or
Yeah,
are they just
I
being
really do.
self-righteous?
Yeah.
I mean, another extreme example, I can't
Well, some just like to hate, I think.
I can't point to any particular reference, but there are people out there that literally think they are doing gay women a favor by raping them in order to make them not gay anymore.
That's incredibly
fucked up.
It's
sad.
incredibly fucked up.
Yeah.
So that scenario, right, where my gut tells me that if people are really honest with themselves about the impact of their actions, and if people are really honestly not being aggressive, then two people probably, like, will be able to resolve their conflict.
Yeah.
That's
I think so.
That's what I 100% fully believe.
If they're willing to, like, work on it, I think. Or they'll just realize that their relationship is not worth it to them, each other.
I need to go back.
Diamond skin. Pew, pew.
So the question was, at what point do you decide to change your behavior, or do you just keep doing your behavior
Do I have to open
with
this?
acceptance
Yeah.
that people may not like it? Is that about accurate?
Yeah, and on some level it's gauging maybe,
Oh, shit.
or maybe even just entering into dialogue, like something I'm
Uh-oh,
doing that
something's
is...
happening, you guys. I think I need help.
You're
You got
fine.
this.
You're
You
nowhere
got
near
this.
dying.
You got this.
Look at your health bar on the left. It's totally full.
Oh.
You got this.
Are you afraid right now, Alex?
I am afraid.
Breathe.
The Phantom of Anguish.
Nice.
Woo!
That's
Man, no
what's fucking
legendaries yet. What the fuck? All right, so what was the question?
When you find out that something you're doing is causing harm to
up.
someone
No, you
in
guys,
some
this
way,
is too vague. I'm sorry.
All right,
we
what's
need
a
specifics.
real life situation? This is why the Reddit stuff was good last week.
Well,
Yeah.
pull up some Reddit shit.
Well, let's see. You'll keep the combo going there.
a real life situation.
What?
You said keep the combo going, and that was
And then there
followed
was,
by
like,
10 seconds
silence.
Of dead silence. There
Uh-oh.
wasn't even any game
Dead
noise.
air.
Um,
Healing well.
Yeah, find us a scenario. But I mean, well, so my vague answer to your vague question was, though, that if everyone involved is being honest about the level of aggression that they're putting into the situation, then if you remove the aggression, then I have a strong feeling the conflict will also resolve, and the conflict is maintained when someone is keeping some aggression.
Wait, I have a question. Why aren't we talking about fear and fearlessness?
How did we get away from that?
What is fearlessness? Do you guys know?
I think my definition would be something like,
Because fear is a helpful emotion.
well, it's not, I don't think fearlessness,
Is the absence of fear. It's not.
no.
Yeah.
No, there's a quote that I read once that actually talked about this a little bit, but it was referring to bravery. And it says bravery is just being the only one to know that you're afraid.
What?
I like that quote.
And-
Nobody else knows?
Well,
Well,
that's what being brave is, right? You're acting like you're not afraid when the situation when everyone else is shitting their pants.
But is it about how others perceive you? I don't like that.
well, no. And what I'm getting about with that quote is that fearlessness isn't necessarily the absence of fear, but like when Zach was talking about he got off a Maitri last year, off of retreat, and he's sitting in an interview and he's fucking nervous as hell.
Mm-hmm.
And on some level, he doesn't believe that nervousness or there's space for it. And
it
he was
need to overpower him.
and he was able to still act how he wanted to in a way, or he didn't let the fear or the anxiety drive his behavior in that moment. And I think that's what we're talking
like
about
that.
when we talk about fearlessness.
Ooh,
If someone thinks they need to get to a place where they never feel fear,
that's impossible
I think
in
that
this
would be-
human body.
yeah, that'd be super unhealthy.
Yeah, it would be super unhealthy. And it would be dangerous. Like, if there's a fucking bus coming for you, you better start feeling fear or
Yeah,
you're gonna
right?
die.
Put those on.
This?
Yeah. And then cover over these.
Huh?
Yeah, do
Hover over
that.
those.
It goes here.
It looks like an amulet, doesn't it?
It looks like an earring, like 2
No,
earrings.
2 earrings. Nope, it's a
Let
bauble.
me hover over these.
It's a bauble.
It's a bauble.
Wait, did you just... Wait, hover over this? Yeah, put that on.
Anytime you hover something and it's green, you want to put it on.
But what if
For the
it's,
most
there's
part.
also red?
You want to take it into account,
Yeah.
basically.
You want that because that's 4%.
But his mine is 18 recovery.
You're fine with that. You want damage. That's what I say.
Yeah? Wait, this one?
What do you think, Anthony?
I don't know.
How
You're
can my
not-
armor
You're not
do
going
any
fast enough for the
damage?
recovery to matter right now, I think.
That's what I think. Yeah, put those on. Those blue gloves.
Did you take that as me telling you need to go faster?
No.
No, it's at this stage in the game. It's not
Yeah,
as important.
Anthony.
Duh.
It's not about me.
It's not about...
I'm perfect. Right?
So what was your question right there, Alex, about...
What is fearlessness?
Yeah, I gave mine. What's y'all's?
Oh,
Zachary?
I think fearlessness is maybe similar. It's just being willing to acknowledge the truth of the situation without needing to add some caveat or some mental gymnastics to make it fit in a certain way.
Yeah.
So, like,
Wait, were you shaking your
that
head
example,
What?
Were you shaking your head at me?
Yeah,
Not to
I
go
was.
here?
I
Okay.
was.
like, with the anxiety thing, it's like one response could have been to tell myself that I'm not anxious. And I think that I do that often in certain ways. I think that's a pretty common experience that people will try to convince themselves of things to make it easier.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how things get, as mentioned earlier, things getting relegated to the shadows because there's some aspect of some way that maybe one has behaved and then they're ashamed and then they just don't want to ever acknowledge that this experience happened.
Mm-hmm.
That's not fearlessness. That's fear. Whereas fearlessness might be like, you know what? A few days ago, I went off on someone and I called them some horrible names, and I did that, and I don't feel proud of it, and that was totally 100% me that did it. Versus a response of, oh well, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't actually that mean. They took it the wrong way. They shouldn't have taken it as harshly as they took it.
Mm.
So for me, being fearless is just being able to own, I guess in a way, I'm coming up with this on the spot, being able to just totally own and accept all the different parts of oneself and not having to push any of those parts away in small ways or big ways. I think the big ways we do that
Looking for
is how we
Cemetery of the
create
Forsaken.
shadows, right? Shadow selves.
Yeah.
And the small ways maybe don't create shadow, or maybe they do just in a different way, but it's some fear of truth.
Mm.
So fearlessness, accepting all our parts.
Mm. Yeah, I think this goes back to what we were talking about earlier when I mentioned my fear around not knowing what I'll reveal or something.
Mm-hmm.
And in some way, it's not that I'm afraid of what I'll reveal. I'm afraid of what that information is going to make people think about me, or
you think about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, that's it for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm afraid I'm going to reveal some piece of shadow that I haven't looked at.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
That's horrifying for me. What do you mean? I thought you were cool with this. I thought you were getting it all out there.
I do still want to get it all out there.
Yeah, but she doesn't.
Maybe not all.
If she did, she'd be fucking enlightened. We'd be sitting here with a Buddha right now.
Yeah. I mean, you are, but still.
Well, I guess we are.
The way you were.
3
What?
Buddhas.
You're going the wrong way.
I'm going, oh.
Yeah, you need to turn.
How do you guys know that?
Because we played this game a lot.
Oh. Oh, shit. You go through the exact same levels every
No,
time?
it's the map looks different, but the objectives are usually the same.
Yeah, the objective.
Okay, so where am I going? Up here?
You want to look for the Cemetery of the Forsaken.
Yeah, I've been looking for that. Oh, this is it.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm
Chancellor's Altar
beneath.
So maybe do go into one of those crypts.
Yeah,
I
you
don't
have to
know.
go into all those crypts. You didn't
Well,
know?
you went into one. She went into one.
Yeah, you need to check them all out.
Yeah, do the one that you haven't been into.
Fuck,
Sorry.
I don't even really remember. I know I don't
Might
think
be.
I've been in here.
You
Yeah,
didn't
you're
do that
huge,
one
B.
because the map will be revealed if you were in there.
Oh, true.
Drink that yellow goop.
Yeah.
Yeah, that yellow stuff.
Oh, yeah. That's good shit.
So Taijira responded to our questions about fear, saying that more fear around personal goals, like the follow your dreams sort of stuff, fear of following the dreams.
Yeah. Dude, I had a lot of that fear when I first quit my bank job. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, so, I mean, like...
Back up, back up, back up.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Yeah, sweet.
Teamwork. Back up, back up. Nice.
Ah, the eels.
The eels of doom.
Whew.
But you get some upgrades to your skills. Do you want to see what those are?
Oh yeah.
So click on the magic missile.
You
also do
get shock pulse.
You can do shock pulse.
So that'll be a thing that like
Shoots
crawls
electricity.
across the
Do
ground.
I have to actively choose this?
Yeah, you have to pick one. to use.
Oh, which one's better?
Shock pulse.
Probably, yeah.
And then click on explosive pulse.
Yeah.
There you go. And hit
Accept.
Yeah.
I accept.
And go to Ray of Frost, the secondary. Arcane Orb.
Oh, yeah.
Really more fun.
Yeah. You're going to like
accept
that.
one.
So that's going to be a new thing when you right click.
Ooh. All right, let's go.
There used to be a build with
you had a
the
couple more
orb.
if you want
Oh,
to
I
see.
had more?
Yeah.
How?
That one. And Frost Nova, what's there when you click there? You can do Diamond Skin, that just makes you invincible.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, just for a short time.
Yeah,
Temporary,
and then
yeah.
because you have this one now, two-wave of force, which pushes everyone away from you. So if you get into oh shit, number 1 makes you invincible, number 2 knocks everybody back.
Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna like that. So
Oh my
what
God,
were you
that
saying
too is
about your bank job?
Oh, yeah. So I started at this bank, and I fucking knew that I just could not stay there for the rest of my life. Like, there's just no way. It was just so meaningless. But then I was like, holy shit, like, is there even going to be a job out there for me that I'll actually like? And I was so terrified, and I was like, oh my God, I'm leaving with this certainty for complete uncertainty. I don't even know if it's going to work out. I don't know if, like, you know, just all these fears, like, especially, like, will I find a job that I actually like? Is that a possibility for me?
Mm-hmm.
You know? And, you know, my internship right now is pretty dope.
You digging it?
I'm digging it, yeah.
So fear conquered.
Fear conquered. What about you guys?
Well, did that come up around Chajir's response here?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. I mean, shit. I went from a pretty financially successful job in the construction industry to sort of freaking out about doing that for the rest of my life and being like, fuck this, I need to get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, I know, I'll go open a brewery in Colorado. Light bulb.
Mm-hmm.
How'd that go?
I get out here and I fucking hated it.
Wait.
I thought it was so boring.
Did you actually try and open a brewery?
Well, I took a bunch of steps towards that, yeah.
Like what?
Like, I went to this place called the Siebel Institute in Chicago and got a certificate from them. They're like
No
the
way.
World Brewing Academy.
No
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And then I got a job at Left Hand in
Okay.
Longmont. Worked there for a while. I was so miserable there that I probably alienated everyone around me. And then worked at a smaller place. I liked it a lot more, probably mostly because I was working by myself in the back. I was like the brewer and everything else for the back.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was there that I really sort of discovered that I don't want to do this. Use your left click to get more mana.
Wait, left click. Oh.
To get more mana, yeah. Does it throw out a smaller ball
Fucking finally,
the
man.
less mana she has? No.
What is that red thing? Mana?
It's health.
Health. But I have so much health.
So I'm at the brewery
Don't
for,
Yeah, you want to do that.
I don't know, 5 or 6 months. And I was like, I can't do this. And what I was freaking out of, I almost had a panic attack one day, I think, because I had basically told everyone that I know that I'm going to go do this. And it wasn't even something I had really thought. I knew that I sort of, quote unquote, could. I had the means, but I didn't want to. It was just like something I could tell people to, you know, whatever, get them off my back or whatever.
Yeah.
And one day I'm sitting in the back of the brewery. I'd been going to therapy for a while at this point. And I was reading some Trungpa
Of course.
at that point. And I just remember all of a sudden, I'm like, I don't know, maybe y'all have heard this before. I've said it a million times since we've been in this program.
I don't think I've heard it.
I was sitting in the back and I had this part in my hand. Like I had to like always clean these little parts.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like hand cleaning it with like a towel. And then like all of a sudden I was just like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I literally got on the computer and went to Naropa's website
No way.
and chose between a couple of programs and like talked to my therapist about it. I really like thought about it for a couple days, and like within 2 weeks I had written a like an essay for
What time of year was this?
It was April of 2000.
Oh, so it wasn't like right near application time.
No. And I was actually past the date.
Oh, that blows.
And they let me apply for that year anyway. So this was 2014.
Oh, okay.
So I applied for that. They let me interview separately from everyone because I had already missed the like, group interview date. And I actually sat with Orr for my interview for like an hour. And he asked me a bunch of questions. And I was so freaked out because on some level I could have a conversation with him about meditation and what contemplative therapy might look like or whatever, because I'd read some stuff at that point. And I had no idea what I was talking about with a lot of stuff. And he asked me some question. I think looking back on it, it was about power and oppression. And I was just like, I had to, I asked him like to repeat it 3 or 4 times. And then like on the 4th time, I was like, I can't answer that. I don't know what you're asking me.
I don't know.
And after that, thank God that was the last question he asked me, because I would have been worthless the rest of the interview, like just freaking out that I had told an interviewer that I can't answer a question. Like to me in that moment, that was like the worst thing I could have done.
Meanwhile, he was probably like, yes, grasshopper.
He did. He like, so I got in.
No
and
shit.
We're in. Well, yeah, obviously.
Really? I didn't know.
Well, yeah, we're in the program together,
you
Alex.
guys, are you fucking stupid? Of course I'm kidding.
Jesus. Good.
Well, so they had to put me on the wait list, and then I got in the next year, right? And so we're sitting at this thing. Do you remember when they asked us to go talk to the prospective students at that like lunch or whatever? It was like the day we're leaving from Maitri. So a few of us went over to Nalanda and like ate with them or whatever.
I think I did that.
Yeah, I think you were there. Yeah, you were there.
We all sat together.
We did, which is like not why we were there.
No, I know.
Oh my God.
I think Mo was the only one doing what we were there for.
Holy shit, there's a lot of mothers over here.
I know, right? And Orr was like kind of next to me, and I was talking to this person who had just gotten interviewed, and she was like, I don't know, I just don't think I'm going to get in. And I was like, oh yeah, I know what that's like. And Orr heard that, and he goes, yeah, Anthony didn't think he was going to get in during the interview, and I knew that.
Wow, that's so interesting.
So he knew, I must have just been oozing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
it's so wild.
But the whole time, so I said this long fucking story, mostly because most of my fear around taking this step wasn't so much the step itself, but what I had told people I was going to do was no longer going to happen, and that would mean something.
Yeah.
Like, I was just afraid to have given up on something, or to fail, or to quit.
Men aren't quitters, right?
Right, yeah.
Nope.
So that's sort of my big career failure / quitting / totally fucking scared of the next step story. And it was worth all of it.
That's awesome.
And that's not to say that it would be worth it for everyone. I don't want to like...
No, it would be.
You know, I don't know.
Follow your bliss.
Sometimes I don't know if it's worth it.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Wait, if what's worth it?
This choice that I made to come to school here. Yeah, sometimes.
Oh, you really?
Sometimes.
Tell me more.
Well, it's a lot of responsibility, and my life before this required none at all.
And you like that?
Yeah, I think because there's just a lot of it has to do with the tension between being an adult versus being an adolescent, really.
Oh.
And not fully being ready to cross that boundary.
Yeah.
And accept what comes with having... You know, I mean, there's like... I have a dozen clients, at least half of them genuinely look forward to spending time with me and rely on me to make their life better.
Yep.
which feels great.
Yeah.
Except for the days when I don't want to do anything. which
Yeah.
Come on, Zach. Therapists can't have those kind of days.
I know, right?
Well, I mean,
I'm kidding.
I know
but
you're kidding,
Okay.
but
At the same
on some level you're not though.
Yeah.
Because even when I'm having that day, I have to figure out
How to show up.
Yeah. Now we're back
Your
to
health is
fearlessness,
fine.
I think, right?
Ah.
Get out of the ooze.
Right click.
Right click.
Yeah, right click. Not you're hitting left. There you
Oh
go.
wait, what? Oh.
This guy didn't give up any fucking gear. Did you kill the third one yet?
Third one.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the mother over there in the corner?
Yeah, that is another.
Fucking bitch.
Get her! Get her! That other blue guy's running around somewhere, isn't he?
The fat one?
Yeah. Because those green things would be gone if he was dead. Keep going down there. Yeah. There he is.
There's your loot.
Booyah.
Still shit.
An orb. Yawn.
Yawn. Just another day in the old Diablo world.
So how do we work with fear, if that's what it is?
What do you mean?
How do we show up when we don't want to show up for our clients?
Is that fear?
I don't think it is fear. We
I
can
think
still answer
everything's
it.
fear, though. Everything's based in fear.
I mean, did you guys read?
Show me, how is it not fear?
Because it's like,
Well, if you're like tired
yeah.
or something, there may not be. I mean, some jobs, and so this might be more relatable to people listening. I'll say that there are a lot of jobs that require someone to basically be responsible or show up a certain way in order to do their job, quote unquote, properly, or whatever. And there are, I mean, just because we're humans, there's going to be days where we fucking get up in the morning and we're like, I don't know if I can do this today. Like psychic energy. And I just mean, I don't necessarily believe in psychic powers or anything, but
or energy, I thought.
well, not fucking crawling up mountains and stuff. It's fucking crazy.
What?
Remember that? You don't remember that presentation we got at retreat that time?
Oh, like sentinels and...
Sentinels and guardians, yo.
I don't fucking know about that.
You're going to make me drink way more Kool-Aid to believe in that kind of stuff.
The guy had a conversation with a moose. Remember that?
Did he?
Yeah, and he and the moose agreed that he wouldn't come outside. Because the moose was outside.
Makes sense.
Well, yeah, so I'd say maybe there's more fear there of showing up in the way that you don't want to.
I think so. I think everything's fear. I think everything's based in fear, fundamentally.
Fear of death.
Or just if you don't want to do something, it's almost always, I think, can be traced back to fear. No, don't go that way. Don't go that way.
No? Okay. Where do we go?
Where the fuck is this Chancellor's altar? Hit here. You've been crawling around.
No, it's there.
You've been crawling around for... Did you go in there?
No.
Yeah, you want to go there.
Okay. Can I just jump there?
No, you just have to, like, find your way.
Take a left and go to the end of the hallway.
Why do they have this, like, loose stone? There's nothing... There's never anything in them.
Sometimes.
Oh.
Very rare.
Ha ha ha.
So, how do we work with it?
With
Yeah,
what?
how do you show up when you don't want to fucking show up? How do you show up on those days? Because your shit is way more intense.
Yeah, for people who don't know, what is your situation?
I do crisis intervention, which is, like, pretty much... A lot of the time, it's either people walk in to the walk-in center when they're in crisis, and who even knows what that means? It's just when you think you're in crisis. Or we go to the hospital a lot and do a psych eval. There have been days where I've been just really activated and triggered and just in my own process and just like totally not able to connect, and I just kind of take a back seat. But it's easy because I'm with someone else. But eventually that's not going to be the case. But you know what? In that line of work, like, it's really easy to fall back onto, like, logistics. Like, okay,
right.
You know, how many times have you committed suicide or tried to commit suicide before? What did you do? Like, where have you been hospitalized? What medications do you take? And then it's just, like, all just logical at that point.
So you can just kind of go through the motions and not worry about being present totally.
Yeah.
And still be effective.
Well, you still place them somewhere.
Right.
Yeah.
And so when I hear you say that, it's on some level you're more aware of how grounded you're needing to be. And when you sort of go to the intellectual or whatever, it's sort of like a safe place.
Oh, yeah.
Like a, well, like I just said, provides ground. And when I say that, I just mean, like last week we were talking about, is it easier to get together with people when there's a reason? You know what I'm saying? There's a ground to that social interaction
Right.
of, we're here to do this podcast, so it makes it easier to hang out with y'all maybe.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Right?
You know, I wonder this too around the fact that, like, we can sit on Discord for like 3 hours
Yeah.
and just bullshit.
Yeah.
But God forbid we actually spend 3 hours in the
Like
same
face to
room.
face? Oh my God.
Dialoguing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Which I have complete acceptance around. Like, I'm not bothered by it whatsoever.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of triangulation with the computer.
Right. Yeah.
And the thing that you're trying to do.
Yeah. I hear a goblin.
You hear a goblin.
You're a goblin.
Hey, there we go.
Damn
Yeah,
right.
baby.
Yeah, baby. What's this?
Is this even the fight? Okay, yeah. I thought Leoric was coming up.
No, we're still hours from
We're-
where
Well, the rate she's going.
Shut up.
you're doing fine. You're perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I figured tonight we won't take a break, so we can just leave at 9 and go to the party.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
All right. Yeah, and that, just what I just said there. Remember last week I was talking about I get invited to these things sometimes, and I'm just like, there's no way in hell I'm going to that.
Hey.
For some, your inventory is full. You need to sort of empty out
Get
some
rid of
stuff.
some bullshit.
Find the stuff that you want to use first.
You want that one, though.
I want this.
Yeah. And then sort of hover over the ones that you...
I don't have a hat.
Little witch's cap.
I could, yeah.
Wait, what is that in the bottom left?
Oh, no. She's looking sexy now, though.
What is that? Go down. Hover over that little button.
Which button?
Down.
Down.
When did they add that?
A while ago, they added a tab for crafting.
Wow.
items.
What's going on in the chat? Is anything happening there?
No,
Nothing's-
Tajira, I think, is probably still watching, but we didn't
How
really...
many? Do you have Restream up?
Yeah, let's... Oh, no, I don't.
My laptop died over here,
We,
so I lost the Restream.
I didn't post this early enough. Nobody's really on. Plus, it's like Halloween weekend.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm kind of
I'm
digging the
really,
recordings
really
and stuff.
red. Also,
You're super red.
people are like, "What the fuck is this red dude
Yeah.
doing?"
You're scaring everyone, Zach.
Oh, and just so people know, we are
That's
going
amazing.
to start exporting these shows in audio-only format. In case you
I like that.
like our conversation and don't really care about the games, or
Like me.
if 2.5 hours is too much to swallow in front of a screen, but you've got a lot of commuting time. We're going to upgrade our audio a little bit. Each one of us is going to have a mic, so you don't get this like little background hum that you can kind of hear, or the bassy thing. It'll be more like this for each of us.
Magic pants.
And then,
Get some magic pants.
yeah. And I still want to engage with the chat, so I guess I'm wondering how we can do a little better with the social media. I don't really know a lot about it.
Well, there's a lot we can do, but we need to be. It's a bigger conversation.
Oh, you want to use that instead of that orb?
We have to be. Maybe not talk about it now.
Yeah, for sure. Just wanted to fill them in.
Nice,
So,
you got Town Portal.
we've got 3 people on Twitch,
Who do we have on Twitch? Does that include
1
you?
person on YouTube.
Does that include you on
I
Twitch?
think- I might be the YouTube person. But I don't think it includes me on Twitch.
Ugh, not this bullshit again. Wait, use a town portal to return to New Tristram. Talk to Hedrick. Okay.
Oh, hit M.
M.
Can't you just use that? Yeah. They did that is new too, right?
What?
You used to have to run to the portals to use them, didn't you?
What? Town portal?
Like you can just click the map now and click where you want to go, and it'll just take you there.
Like how so?
Like she was just in the middle of a field, hit M, and then just clicked New Tristram, and she went there.
You can always TP, I thought.
Okay, but she wouldn't have been able to go to another
I don't
place?
think so.
Okay.
I don't really know.
All right.
I mean, it's like...
It's
It's
going to
just
tell
like
you.
inconvenient. A lot of times
Can I do
when
this for
people
you?
just find workarounds, they just change the mechanics to just make that happen anyway.
Right. Are you done with everything in here? You went through all this, Alex? It looks pretty good.
Cursorily.
What'd she
What
say?
was that word?
Cursorily? Like, I did it, like,
Oh.
a cursory glance.
Cursory glance.
I don't know.
Cursorily.
What was that?
That was your crafting mats.
Oh, did he buy it from us? Buy the stuff?
Kinda. No. In this game, you can break it down and then use it to build new stuff.
Oh.
Oh, it's sharing, so you're maxed already on that. All right. Now you've got your inventory empty and ready to go.
Okay, great.
Back at it.
Okay.
Do some work.
You need something to drink? You need a breather? Some stretches?
Dude, did I ever tell you guys that when I was in high school, I read this article that said that men have better spatial reasoning abilities than women, but if women play first-person shooter games for like an hour a day or some shit like that, they can reach the same level as men in spatial reasoning and like sustain, like it stays. So I like had homework that I'd have to play fucking Call of Duty. Like every night I'd be like, fuck, I have to play Call of Duty like for an hour, and I would like force myself to
Wait,
play
you
it.
had homework like
You
from
gave
your
it to
school?
yourself?
No, just like for myself. I
Oh,
was like,
oh.
I want better spatial reasoning. Like I'll just start playing Call of Duty. And
Do you think it
fucking
worked?
hated it. Probably.
There's no sort of evidence that. I think you need to
mean-
get closer to the mic, by the way.
I mean, I did an engineering degree at school, so that involves some spatial reasoning.
Does it?
Yeah, totally.
Did you get 2
I guess
degrees?
so. But
No.
you got a financial engineering degree. It's not like structural, right?
Yeah. I don't think
Yeah, it worked. It totally worked.
it totally worked.
Financial engineering. I didn't even know that was the thing until you said you got a degree in it.
It sounds as real as contemplative psychotherapy.
Would it be a total social faux pas to wear Crocs to this party?
No one's looking at your feet.
All right. I might just do it then.
Do it.
I give myself permission.
Give yourself permission
To
To
look
wear
like
Crocs.
a tool on and off for the rest of your
to
life.
look like a tool.
Yes!
Feel the glory.
Are we going to kill Leoric before this is over? Probably not,
Probably.
right?
Oh.
Well, you're close.
Well, she's got to get... Well, she's not even in the...
Oh, yeah, no. there's
She's
still
got to get to the
spider
bottom of the
cavern.
cathedral first.
The spider
Cathedral.
cavern? No way.
She's got to go through the spider cavern first?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's not going to happen.
You got to go find the falling star. The fallen star.
Yeah, well, she's going to do that soon.
Mhm.
She's in the cathedral.
Ah.
I thought this was going to be an easier topic to talk about.
Fear and
I
fearlessness?
didn't really prepare like we did last week, and I think that went well.
Well,
And I'm just noticing that,
You want some material?
yeah, I'm wanting some material. I did find something.
Can you tell us about your fear of being seen? Because I know that comes up a lot.
My fear of being seen.
Yeah. You've mentioned that in numerous ways.
Well,
I mean, I guess we've already talked about it, really.
what's that?
We've already kind of
Wait,
talked
what-
about
We
it.
have, because mostly what I'm referring to when I say that I'm I sort of have a fear of being seen is that I'm afraid of what I'm showing people that I don't know I'm showing them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have already talked about that.
Yeah. And
well, maybe we can go to Reddit then.
I think this is why when I joked with my therapist that maybe I'll dress up as my mom for Halloween if we're dressing up as the thing we're most afraid of becoming. He said, well, you could try dressing up as yourself.
Oh, burn.
Pull the Brucey burn.
Brucey burn. Wait, can we talk a little bit more about how fear is the like central part of the whole Buddhist path?
Yeah, I'm into that.
Sure.
What do they fucking mean by that?
Well, you named it already, right?
What?
The first skandha.
Okay,
Form
so it has
formlessness.
So it has to do with not self.
I think so.
Not identifying with any part of your experience as self.
Well, I guess I'm not exactly
wait,
sure. Wait,
I want to hear more about your experiences with the skandhas.
Okay.
Okay.
My experiences?
Either
experiences.
Pull her up.
Thank you.
There we go.
Perfect.
Well, the first skandha of form, right? The first aspect of consciousness.
So, for people who are listening who have no idea what the fuck a skandha is, maybe we should start there.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Okay, so skandhas are...
You can die to these people. You're going to die.
I'm going to die?
You're getting close.
We're all going to die.
Hit Q for her, Zach. Get out of the... Oh, there she goes.
Ah.
Bum-ba-da-bum. Just revive the last checkpoint.
A corpse.
Oh, you can do that? Oh, run away.
Pew, pew, pew.
Yeah. Now you can start over.
Haha.
That's a new feature.
Okay, so the skandhas
You had to go to the checkpoint before,
I've actually never revived in this game because I only play hardcore mode. So every time I've died, my character's been erased.
But it kind of like gets rid of the challenge. Like there's just no, you don't. What's the consequence?
There isn't any. That's why I don't. That's why I only play the hardcore mode.
I wish more games had that option.
Yeah.
You want less consequences?
No, more consequences.
More consequences. Get out of the. Yeah.
I'm frozen.
So
when
when these things come up here, you want to avoid them. Watch. It looks like he's. What the fuck is he doing? Oh, you're good. Just take him out.
So
not even paying attention. He's reading a book or something.
Oh,
these things. You want to get out of the way.
Ah.
Yeah.
He's kicking me.
He just faked you out. He's like, oh, I'm just sitting over here not doing nothing. Did he kick you?
Yeah.
He just kicked you in the head.
He kicked me.
So how do you explain skandhas to someone who has no idea what skandhas are?
Good question.
I actually don't recall very much about them.
Oh,
I remember
so
the
into
lesson.
the
I
skandhas
just
these
don't
days.
say something about them.
Okay, so the skandhas are like all of your experience is boiled down to these 5 categories, essentially. And right?
Sounds good so far.
You were going the right way before.
Okay. And so what are they? The first one's form, and that's like where the whole fucking split of self versus other starts.
You versus the world.
Yeah. So it's like me in here, independently of you out there.
Yeah.
And that's like the basis of suffering, according to the Buddha.
The body is form. I'm just adding. Right? Body is form.
I feel like skandhas are mental projections or mental activities.
They are. But one of our mental activities is the fact that we have a body.
You mean we take our body to be ourselves?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, we totally do.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's feeling, and that's either tells you that something's like pleasurable, unpleasurable, or neutral. So that's the thing that. Okay, and then the next one is impulse.
Perception, impulse.
Yeah, and that's like, or is it formation?
Form, feeling, perception.
No, it's
formation.
Perception, impulse is sometimes also called formation, but it is perception, impulse.
Oh.
Right. So anyways, that's the part where it's like you move towards or away or ignore. And then on top of that, what's formation?
It's judgment.
Judgment.
So it's taking the 3 poisons of
That was easy.
passion, aggression, or ignorance.
But see, the thing I don't understand is that it seems like the second skanda is highly dependent on the perception skanda, or like your storehouse consciousness or whatever, you know?
Totally. Well, so there's a theory that they arise sequentially, and also a theory that they arise simultaneously. But basically, how does it continue? So judgment, you said taking the 3 poisons. That's deciding whether something is good, bad, or neutral, right?
And so then is it like, oh, the last time I interacted with a gun, it was bad, so now I'll have like this perception of guns is bad.
Yeah, that sounds pretty accurate.
Okay.
And then the 5th skanda is consciousness, which ties it all together.
It's like the witness, right?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I don't know.
Because we can't, like, the Buddha says you can't even identify with the witness. That's not you either.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, this is like heady stuff, because this all takes into the assumption that everything you interact with is an object, which is a whole other conversation to explain.
What do you mean?
Sounds, sights, they're all objects. Thoughts
Mental
are
objects.
objects.
I'm worried we're getting into conversation that is going to alienate a lot of our listeners.
Yeah, me too. So
Maybe we should plan to talk more formally about some of these things in certain shows.
Okay,
So,
we can do
but-
like a show for each skanda or something.
I think
Yeah,
rather
yeah.
than getting into the skandhas, though, the question was why is fear the fundamental
Yes.
originator of everything?
Right.
Which basically, to me, it comes down to. I mean, it's like it's easier to go the other way. Come up with a scenario and tell me how it's not related to fear. If there's any resistance to doing something and you're not doing it, tell me how it's not related to fear.
I don't know that. And so if I'm just coming up with, I don't know that I have a really strong opinion on this. And when we talk about like our cocoons and doing things to maintain some level of comfort, I don't know that we're actually afraid of the discomfort as much as we're just like, I don't want that. You know what I mean? Like, are we actually...
Well,
I think, aren't we afraid of giving up our ego identity?
I mean, I think so. I think it always comes down
Right, and then
To
that's
fear.
where the skandhas came in. We don't have to really get into them,
like
Yeah.
but it's
Yeah.
like, I
How do
think,
you see that they come up for you?
well,
when
because
yeah. Go ahead.
it's like about that whole discussion of not self, right? I mean, that's a whole.
What is the... This is what I'm saying. If I don't know what the hell you're talking about, explain that to me.
Okay, not self. Okay, so
Yeah.
the Buddha said that no matter what you see in your experience, or no matter what you experience, you cannot take that as yourself, like an unchanging, permanent, separate from everyone else self.
You need to
Right?
go in there.
I gotta go here.
Yeah.
So
And I'm wanting to add a little to that, actually.
add away.
A more maybe accessible language for that would be on some level the conversation around no self is
Who's this?
is talking about that's gonna get them all. Oh, that wasn't as satisfying as I thought it was gonna be. Which is a perfect segue into what I'm talking about. That
It wasn't as satisfying. As that.
right? Isn't that what like suffering is basically? We're just unsatisfied with whatever we've got. So yeah, maybe a more accessible way to say that, and I'm open to y'all correcting me on this, but anything that we experience is oftentimes confused or can be confused as the essence of that experience, or like if I'm afraid right now, it means fear is the only thing that I am right now. Or if I'm anxious, maybe I'm...
You're identified with it.
I'm identified with it in such a way that I'm consumed with that one feeling. And
the way we say it, I am anxious.
Right.
It contributes to that.
Yep. They're going to all explode when they die, so you want to get out of that ball. It's okay.
Is it okay?
Just a little circle around them.
Ah.
Yeah.
Ah.
And on some level, what meditation might do over time, both while you're meditating and once you get off of the cushion, is to show you evidence. Oh, is this where you get your? She's getting the Templar right now. That's him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Insignius, the maligned. Who maligned you? That's what I want to know.
So we can take moments out of our day when we're angry or stressed out or just feeling overwhelmed by our current situation maybe, or sad, or any number of things, and maybe stop and check in and on some level tap into what else might be happening for us, because that's probably not the whole story. And I want to say that is one way that egolessness shows up in everyday life.
I'm lost.
So if I'm super anxious,
yeah,
and I'm just like, I'm anxious right now, I'm identified with it.
Okay, sorry.
Right? So I'm identified with it. And I also am probably under the assumption that that's all I'm feeling in that moment. When in reality, I'm feeling, the warmth of my hands. I can feel the shoes on my feet, the clothes on my body, the temperature in the room, just a number of things, other emotions that might be there. Because oftentimes for me, nervousness and excitement seem to go together.
Totally.
Or if I'm angry, there's also like a sadness that might be there or something, right? Pain. And egolessness or no self, I think is what you were saying.
Not self.
The
Buddha never said there is no self. He just said anything you find cannot be taken to be yourself.
Right. And so I just wanted to sort of relate this in language that might be a little bit more practical to everyday life.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm done.
Okay. You got off
Keep
your
going.
soapbox?
Was that a soapbox?
I don't know.
What do y'all think about what I just said?
I honestly didn't really understand it completely.
Okay. It's hard to focus when you're playing this.
I mean, it sounded like you were saying that when we're experiencing some afflicted emotion, we oftentimes just assume that we are nothing but that emotion, when in reality there's many other things going on.
Yeah.
How does that help you?
Well, when you can tap into all the other things going on, it provides choice. That's my experience.
Yeah. And that would be the sort of Hinayana, right?
Sure. Yeah. Would it be?
I think so. Like, that's the more direct, the more direct, sort of applicable things to our daily lives right now. And then there are even challenges that go further than that. Like when I talked about, there's a theory in therapy called reframing, where someone can talk about their anxiety, and then we might be able to reframe that anxiety as an excitement about something.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And that would be sort of challenging, is what I'm saying. So in the first sort of view that I was bringing up, we acknowledge that we're nervous and then find the space around that might bring in more of our experience to sort of complement it.
Mm-hmm.
In the say yes for that. I think it gets a little bit more deep than that, though, in that we can even challenge that, where if we're feeling nervous, rather than simply finding space and bringing in the other ways, the other feelings that we have to complement it.
Here.
We can do a reframing for ourselves. This is when we talk about.
No, you need to go down again.
When we talk about sort of
Back the way you came.
what was it at retreat? We did reframing, but it was called something else.
Shining the jewel.
Maybe alchemy or some shit like that.
Transmutation?
Yeah, transmutation.
Yeah.
Transmutation is reframing, I believe.
Okay.
Interesting.
I've heard reframing in just a much more simple way too, though.
Okay.
Of just like if someone says, "Oh
How
man,
did
I
I
just
get there?
lost my job. Now, I have all this time on my hands
Uh-huh.
and I'm bored and I don't know what to do."
Right.
A reframe might be like, you have a lot of time on your hands, now you can maybe explore what other options are. You didn't have that time on your hands now.
Right.
So I've heard that as a reframe.
Sure. Yeah.
Or, you get out of a relationship and I'm never going to meet anyone ever again and my life's hopeless. And then the reframe is actually now I have the opportunity to meet a whole bunch of different people.
Uh-huh.
So that is a reframe. The transmutation, I think, is something different than the reframe, personally.
Okay.
Transmutation seems more energetic, whereas reframe seems more intellectual.
I would agree with that.
Yeah. And I think I was describing transmutation, actually. Maybe I
Although-
just don't know what reframing is.
I think a reframe is just something super simple like I did. Just taking...
Like some positive psychology bullshit.
Yep.
I fucking hate that stuff. I'm sorry.
Sometimes it's really fucking helpful, though, when someone's getting really
Yeah,
down
I'm sure it
themselves.
can be. I'm sure it can be.
How sure are you?
I'm not very sure. I'll take your word for it. But don't you see the positives in this? Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. I mean, is there a way you can
That's
do
like
that
bypassing,
and still
potentially.
acknowledging the pain?
Yeah, it's bypassing.
Well,
Potentially.
is it though? If you can acknowledge that it's still a shitty situation and also point out that there's some benefits.
Is that where positive psychology goes, though?
I don't know. You're the one who brought in the positive psychology thing.
I
so
know.
don't
I'm on a tirade now.
Yeah, I don't know what positive psychology
I'll drop
is.
it.
All
I
know
don't know.
is that,
I don't know fully either. I just hear that word and I'm like,
reframing can be very helpful for someone who's looking at everything as shit.
totally, absolutely. Yeah. So if you have a very sort of cynical outlook, maybe positive psychology would help.
Yeah, maybe. I
Fuck
don't know.
that.
I hear it's a bunch of bullshit. It's the word on the street.
Yeah, it's a good word. You're hearing from good people.
Strength-based psychology, is that the same thing?
I don't think it's the same thing. I mean,
Is that even a thing? Is strength-based
I
psychology
think that's
a
a.
thing?
I think that's a modality. Yeah.
Yeah. Or like solution focused or whatever.
Solution
Yeah,
focused.
solution
What's
focused.
strength-based mean?
Focusing on what you're good at and doing more of that
Uh-huh.
or something, rather
Sounds
than
like
focusing
some-
on the things that you want to change.
Oh, I see.
I think.
That doesn't sound like it'll go very far. You gotta be afraid to look at how much you suck.
Right. That's
Isn't
what
that
I'm
isn't that
saying. This is what
therapy's all about?
This is the frustrating thing, and all of this is completely unfounded because I have no idea what positive psychology is. I just
No.
assume, and I want to say I'm probably right, but I don't actually know.
I think it's because Buddhism puts so much emphasis on confronting your pain and your fear that the idea of not doing that just seems like bullshit.
Yeah, relate with fucking reality.
Yeah,
Relate
exactly.
with reality.
And
So it
reality
just
is
comes down to we think we're
oftentimes
better than
pretty
everyone else.
shitty,
Mm-hmm.
and that's okay.
It's...
What? She's got a grin on her face.
What? I don't know. I was just saying, like, we think we're better than everyone else.
Yeah,
Which is
totally.
true.
What's that?
We do.
Buddhist?
There's an arrogance that
contemplative
comes
psych
with-
specifically.
Yeah, I think there's an arrogance that comes with the way that we have been taught, or at least those who are
who
prone
drunk
to
the
arrogance. It provides a good ground for it.
I was watching Fear the Walking Dead, and someone pointed out that Buddhism naturally tracks people with narcissistic tendencies.
Does you guys think so?
Well, it's all focused on the self,
But it's focused on getting rid of the self.
but it's
or not
focused
getting rid
on
of
the
it.
self getting rid of the self. It's all focused on. There's a lot of focus on one's scenario in some schools of Buddhism. Absolutely, that's
Yeah.
all a Hinayana is. It's like actually only worry about yourself.
Oh, totally. I mean, we've gone over this. I'm very selfish.
Yeah.
It's pretty much my number one goal is to make myself happy.
You're just being honest. 'Cause
I'm being totally
that's what
honest.
everybody's fucking goal is.
That's what I'm saying. That's what Hitler's goal was too.
And that's
you know.
that anyone. I mean, that was Mother Teresa.
We got a little feedback about your Hitler talk last time, by the way.
Bring it on.
What was the
You
feedback?
think you can't?
Well,
you
somebody
can't
came
censor
in.
me.
I'm not wanting to censor you. I'm just
I'm
letting you
telling
know
the
what the
person.
feedback was.
Okay.
So there was a friend that I shared the stream with, like midstream, and he came in to Alex talking about Hitler in a way that could be misconstrued as
Yeah.
justifying his actions or something.
Yeah.
And
I can
No,
see
they weren't.
that.
They weren't listening close enough.
Well,
I mean, that's true because that's not what you were saying at all. I went back and watched it.
that's why you just shouldn't talk about Hitler.
Oh, okay.
He's a hot
What
topic
happened to
these
relating
days.
with reality, huh?
Yeah, we can relate with reality and say that he slaughtered a bunch of people and he was
And
a giant
he
dick
was-
about it.
He was probably just trying to make himself happy,
Right.
which is all I was
And that
saying.
doesn't
He was doing what he
justify
thought
it.
was
I never said
better
it
for
justified.
humanity.
Right, but
anything.
you are comparing yourself to Hitler, which I
Yeah.
just think is a dangerous.
Yeah, you did
thing
just
to
do
do.
that, I guess.
I don't know. I think it goes back to
Because-
basic goodness and brilliant sanity. And if you really believe that, then yeah, you are on the same level as Hitler.
Well, that might be true. And
Yeah.
for people who don't know what
Well-
the fuck we're talking about when we talk about basic goodness,
Yeah.
and then saying, "Oh, I'm the same as Hitler," that could be really confusing.
Yeah, I think so too. I'd rather.
Well,
But please,
luckily we
by
have
all
you
means-
guys here to clear it
By
all
all
up.
means, compare yourself to Hitler, Alex.
You know
I'm
what?
not telling you
will.
you can't.
I will.
Can't censor this bitch.
Batch.
Batch.
That's correct.
Pretty sure that was one of Hitler's phrases too.
Batch. All right, y'all. We've got about 5 minutes left. So
Oh shit! Oh
we're
my
needing
god,
to-
time flies, man.
I know.
Time flies when you're playing games, huh?
Yeah.
Now you kind of know how I feel when
Fun
I'm
and
in
games.
Overwatch. This show goes fucking.
Why was it not fast for you guys?
This felt
It was felt
Longer?
fast.
appropriate
Oh.
in time.
It felt the amount of time that it was.
Right.
Oh, okay.
When I'm gaming, it's like, oh, 2.5 hours. Why do you guys want to leave? I want to keep playing.
Yeah, it's so interesting. Zach, you should play next time.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
I want to play some Dark Souls. Is that it? Can it be dealer's choice when we're in the hot
Yeah,
seat?
we can
Yeah,
do dealer's
totally.
choice.
I'd love to play some
I'm playing
fucking Dark
Tetris next
Souls.
time I'm in the hot seat.
That'll be fun.
I'm really good at I'll
I
play
want to do
Free
Minecraft.
Cell.
Minecraft.
Minecraft, and then we can talk
Ooh, The
about sand play.
Sims.
Same play.
Oh
We
my
get the
god,
Sims,
so
yeah.
dope. Anyways,
So-
are we looking in the box? Is there boxes to
No
look
boxes in this one. I don't even
Really?
think anybody's watching. Tajira might still be on, but she's not commenting right now.
No, I think we lost her interest. So.
And
at? Should we bow out?
well, essentially, yeah. I just want to. Maybe we'll go
Thank you,
transition
Diablo.
to the lobby
Trey.
really quickly. Yeah, and just
Anyone want some Coke?
put a reminder out there for anybody listening, even if this is weeks later, months later, years later. Shoot us an email at pushtotalkradio@gmail.com.
Mhm.
We would love to get some feedback. We would love to hear
Your thoughts on Hitler.
your thoughts on Hitler,
And your thoughts on my thoughts on Hitler.
and providing us a scenario of something that's going on in your life, and we can just kind of toss it around. Maybe you'll get some advice on it. Maybe nothing good will come of it, and that's okay too. And we'll keep your confidentiality in case you send that from a personal email or something. That's actually quite valuable to us. And yeah, I mean,
Do you have comments coming in?
oh, Tajira. She said what? She's still there. So,
No, it looks like there's some more. She made some more comments. I just can't read them from here.
oh, this is... Oh, wait, she did. She said the basic goodness thing that Alex was saying around Hitler was just doing what he thought was going to make him happy. Tajira's response to to that was, I mean, that just justifies everything anyone does.
It does.
Even if it's for someone else, there is still self-fulfillment.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, actually. Mother Teresa was also just trying to make herself happy through service to others.
Yeah.
100% agreed.
And Mother Teresa was actually not that great of a person.
But you know what the Dalai Lama says? Stupid, selfish people will try and make or are mean to others or wait, fool me once. No. Stupid, selfish people just try to make themselves happy. Smart, selfish people try to make other people happy.
Oh, I like it.
Right? Dalai Lama, straight from HHDL. You know, you can't fuck with that. And it makes perfect sense.
I guess it depends on how you're trying to make other people happy. Because this goes back to our little discussion around Christians and homosexuals earlier, where they think they are preventing homosexuals from experiencing some like burning hell for eternity by telling them that they're fags or whatever they want to do. And so how you go about like
well, that I think that's where
happy.
like the whole theism thing comes in, because they have some power dictating rules.
Yeah.
Whereas in a non-theistic tradition like Buddhism, there isn't that. So
just
there's
accept thyself.
Exactly. So you don't really run into that issue with anything but some kind of like directive theistic view with rules.
I mean, I will challenge that though. There are Buddhist terrorists right now.
That's true.
Well, then they're not really.
Well, that's what Christians would say about the people that we're talking about, and I think you could actually make a good argument based on their books that makes them more Christian. But anyway, maybe we can talk about religion on the next show.
Oh, man,
that sounds like a good topic.
I'm biased as fuck, so
am I.
This is going to be inflammatory.
I grew up in a Jewish household. Where were you?
Catholic
and
Greek Orthodox.
Damn. Greek Orthodox.
We got a good little mixture here.
We've got
is
quite
it?
the mixture.
Yeah.
I mean,
Greek Orthodox
Christian and Jewish.
Greek Orthodox is some shit.
Is it?
I mean, from what I know.
Yeah.
What do you know?
Just that the Greek Orthodox involved incorporating. What are you laughing at?
She's like, what do you know?
Greek Orthodox incorporated a ton of the like Germanic pagan gods into their system of saints and whatever.
Oh, honestly, I don't know that much about it.
I don't know that much about it either.
So.
I know Nikola Tesla was from a Greek Orthodox family.
Interesting.
And he was the descendant of a long line of priests. And Nikola Tesla spoke to entities as a child and had a lot of these other common like shamanic experiences. And pretty much everything we're using to broadcast the show is a product of Nikola Tesla.
Pretty much.
Hell yeah.
Pretty much,
yeah.
But anyway.
So maybe we can formulate a topic over the week, so we won't name what it is necessarily right now. But religion is going to have something to do with it, I have a feeling. And if you're probably not watching this live right now.
If you are, pick another color and I'll paint my face that color next week.
Yeah. If your name's not Tajira.
Or if it is.
Sure.
Would you? Color. Yeah, Tajira, let us know what color you want Zach to show up next week.
I might not be on screen, but I assure you.
That's cheap.
Yeah, if you paint some green and then we go with the green screen, then that'll
just
be weird.
Fucking glasses
eyeballs floating.
That'd be awesome. I should try that.
So yeah, if you're watching this and you like what you hear, please throw us it doesn't have to be a subscription because we don't have that on
give us some
Twitch
likes on Facebook.
Likes on Facebook.
Thumbs up on YouTube.
Some follows on Twitch. Join I guess you don't have to join our page. You just like it, right? And then things show up.
Like our page a lot.
Yeah. Those thumbs up little things, they do a lot for us. So we would really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Whenever you can have the opportunity to do that, and throw a comment on the YouTube channels.
And you can message us on Facebook too if that's easier for you.
Yep.
Talk to us. Let us know what you want us to talk about. Let us know if we want to talk to you, if we want to hear us talk about what's going on in your life. Of course, always protect anyone's identity if that's what they choose, and give us a fake name. Doesn't even matter. We want to hear from you. We want to talk to you all.
All right, and with that, we have no cutout music, so we're just gonna call this again. So
Happy Halloween!
happy Halloween, everyone! Be safe out there.
Don't do drugs or do whatever. It's all good.
That's not real for anybody
That's not real.
didn't watch the.
Or
beginning.
is it?
That's not